Hey, what's up guys? You're back with TechNick here once again, and today we're doing something a little bit different. And talking about different, we're just going to jump right into the video. No intro, no nothing, just footage of these three incredible gaming phones. So I thought, I have three powerful gaming phones, why not do a proper frames per second comparison using 7 different games on each device. I try to get them all pretty similar in pretty similar locations of each game. And the first one that we have here is PUBG Mobile. This is FPP mode, so first person player mode. As you guys can see, it's pretty much like a first person shooter. This is actually team deathmatch. So don't mind my terrible skills here, guys, in most of these games. To be honest with you, these three devices have actually brought my love for mobile gaming back into light, because I never really have been a mobile gamer. Maybe when I was a kid, when Android first started rolling out, but as of right now, no siree. So guys, on my left there, I have what is written 60 FPS cap. That means that this game is capped at 60 FPS. And in the first round here, we have 59 FPS on the Red Magic 3, 59 on the ROG Phone 2, and 60 on the Black Shark 2. Surprisingly enough, the Black Shark 2 actually does better. And talking about the frames per second here, guys, the Red Magic 3 has a 90Hz refresh rate panel, which means that it can go up to 90 frames per second depending on the game. But because PUBG has a 60 FPS cap, we are capped at 60. Now the ROG Phone 2 has a 120Hz refresh rate panel, which means it can go all the way up to 120 FPS. But once again, there is a 60 FPS cap on PUBG Mobile as well. Now the Black Shark 2 Pro is actually limited to 60Hz refresh rate panel over here, so its max is 60 FPS regardless of the game, even if the game can hit 120 Hz. So guys, over here at the moment, I have maybe done quite a few snippets of the games that I have shown you guys here, and thrown some things before and after just to try keep things as accurate as possible, so that we're all in vehicles at the same time in PUBG and not someone randomly shooting, someone else is in a vehicle and someone else is flying down on a parachute. So I try to keep things as even as possible as much as I can, and I did do multiple tests. This is not the only test that I did of each phone. And I can tell you guys that the software that I'm using is extremely accurate, and I've tested this because the ROG Phone 2 actually has kind of like a always on display showing you the FPS, but you have to slide it in from the left to check it out. And I did check that with this software, which is actually GameBench Pro. If you guys don't know of GameBench, you don't need a root to display an FPS counter on your game. You can actually get the GameBench community app from the Play Store. I'll put a link down in the description below over here, guys, and you can get that and you can use it for free. You just have to pop your phone into your computer. It's very simple instructions, it's pretty straightforward. Then every time you reboot your phone, you just need to pop it into your computer again if you do want to test out your FPS. Now we're going to go on to World War Heroes over here, guys, and I just showed you that there are some pretty beefy settings in the graphics menu, so I did increase them all. I did the same thing with PUBG earlier. They're all running the exact same median of graphics, which is maxed out to the max. Now World War Heroes is probably my favorite first-person shooter on Android. You guys should definitely check this out. It also has a 60 FPS cap, so we won't see any frames higher than 60 FPS here, guys. If you haven't seen so far, at the top right of each device screen, the always on display of the FPS, this over the screen overlay showing the FPS is over there at the top right of each screen, so you guys can compare it with the Red Magic 3 at the top, ROG Phone 2 at the bottom left, and Black Shark 2 Pro at the bottom right. Now, I was saying that this is one of my favorite FPS on Android, and that is because it really looks and feels a lot like Battlefield. The team deathmatch mode in PUBG Mobile kind of feels like Call of Duty, and I really feel like this is a little bit more realistic. Now we have 60 FPS across the board on all three devices. Remember, this does have a 60 FPS cap, even though the Red Magic 3 has a 90Hz refresh rate and the ROG Phone 2 has 121. That Black Shark 2 is limited to 60 regardless, and it is doing pretty well, I must say, with keeping things on the average over here. So far the Black Shark 2 is actually impressing me the most. And now we're going to jump into ARC 2.0, guys. Now this is an interesting one since it has a 30 FPS cap over here. Now, I don't like to play games that are kind of less than 30. I guess my lowest maybe being 40. But ARC is a really graphically intense game. I actually think it is most demanding game on Android, period. I don't think you get a more demanding game on Android, and you guys will see with the FPS counts over here. I'm not sure if you guys saw in the beginning, I've put a quick little snippet. I've put the resolution on max for all of the devices, as well as epic graphics mode on ARC 2.0. This is actually called ARC Survivor Evolved if you guys are looking for it on the Play Store. It's a great game. I must be honest, I haven't really played it. I kind of just did this because a lot of people speak about how demanding this game is when it comes to Android graphics. So I was really interested to see how it would perform in this test with the screen overlay FPS counter at the top right corner, and they're not doing too fresh, guys. The Red Magic 3 with the lowest 25 frames per second. The ROG Phone 2 and the Black Shark 2 Pro are matched at 27. Remember, the ROG Phone 2 and the Black Shark 2 Pro both have Snapdragon 855 processing chips in it, and the Red Magic 3 is quite a bit older, maybe 3 or 4 months old now, guys, and it comes with a Snapdragon 855, just the vanilla version over there. Now, I really dig this. This is my go-to zombie game, guys. This is Dead Trigger 2. Now, this is the first 120 FPS game that I am showing you guys. We do have 4 of them, so I'm really interested to share those FPS counts with you guys, but the first one is Dead Trigger 2, and I must say it feels so darn smooth running this game on these 3 phones, especially the ROG Phone 2 and Magic 3, because they have that high refresh rate panel. The Black Shark 2 is limited to 60, but it has been stable the entire time. So I must say that with having a 60 Hertz panel, you're gonna see stability that the other 2 won't have. But remember, you guys can limit the Red Magic 3 and the ROG Phone 2 to 60 if you want that stability as well. The ROG Phone 2, you can just do it in settings. The Red Magic 3, you actually have to go into the game space settings and change it to 60 FPS through there. But all of them are doing really well here, and we have 74 FPS, the highest on the Red Magic 3. The ROG Phone 2 actually had quite a few dips with 67 FPS, and then the Black Shark 2 Pro with 60 FPS. Guys, stick around till the end of the test, because at the end of the test I'm gonna show you guys the stats of every single game, and then get a median average of all the FPS through all 7 games over here to see the final results, to see who indeed comes out on top. Now, the next game we have here with 120 FPS cap is Mortal Kombat. This is probably my favorite fighting game. We do have Tekken over there, and it's a really great game, but I like the darkness of Mortal Kombat, and the fluidity is just great. So we have the Red Magic 3 at the top there, as you guys can see, ROG Phone 2 bottom left, Black Shark 2 bottom right, and they're all doing a superb job. Like I said, I've been trying to keep things showing what's on the display as similar as possible. So I have done the starting fights of all 3 devices here on Mortal Kombat, and though there is a 120 FPS cap on the game, it doesn't mean you're gonna hit that. It is a pretty graphics intense game, and I'm pretty sure if you guys run this on PC, you'll realize how graphically intense it is. Obviously that version is way different to this one, though I think that Mortal Kombat do a pretty good job of bringing this game to Android, and this experience is really epic. So with that cap, remember the Black Shark 2 Pro only supports a 60 Hz screen, so the max we have there is 60 FPS, where the Red Magic 3 has a 90 and the ROG Phone 2 has a 60. Oh, the ROG Phone 2 has a 120, sorry guys, jeez. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and have a look at the results here. So 74 frames per second on the Red Magic 3, 70 frames per second on the ROG Phone 2, actually less than the Red Magic 3, and the Black Shark 2 Pro, another stable 60. So with me, what I'm taking from this so far is that all of these games have been optimized better for the standard Snapdragon 855 chip, and not so much the 855 Plus chip. I can definitely assure you guys that you will see performance improvements in the months to come with the 855 Plus chipset seen in the ROG Phone 2. I'm sure there will be a lot more stability improvements and a lot more support for games, but this is just as of right now, and currently the only 2 phones in the world that have the 855 Plus chipset are the 2 at the bottom that I have here. The Nubia Z20 is releasing today, and I will be getting my hands on that. That also has the 855 Plus, but at the moment you'll only find this in China, guys. So now we have Gear Club. This is also one of my favorite racing games. This has 120 FPS cap on it, and it's really demanding, guys. This game is more demanding than the likes of Asphalt 9 and Real Racing 3. So I'm not expecting the highest frames per second. This is a proper simulator similar to Forza and Gran Turismo on PlayStation and Xbox, and we have it here on Android. Make sure you check this out on the Play Store as well if you guys are interested. So looking at the average FPS here, 76 on the Red Magic 3 is really impressive, guys, especially since the ROG Phone 2 got a seriously weak 50 frames per second running Gear Club. The Black Shark 2 Pro, once again, very stable at 60. I'm really impressed with it. Kind of a little disappointed with the ROG Phone 2 since we have that incredible 120Hz refresh rate panel, though we can't really use it. Okay, now we have Trials Frontier. Surprisingly enough, this little mini game of riding your bike, which I absolutely love on Xbox and PC, guys, you can now get on your Android device and is capped at 120 FPS. So this is utilized on the ROG Phone 2 the most, second being the Red Magic 3, and last but not least the Black Shark 2 Pro with that 60Hz panel. Now talking about GameBench Pro over there, guys, you can actually do a trial with a company account for developers out there, and with the Pro version you can see a lot more stats and share your stats with your friends too, and other companies or other devs that you guys know. Now you can also use the community one that is just for the frames per second counter, and you guys can record it and do just like I did to test it out with these games with your device if you'd like to. So then in the Trials Frontier game over here, we have 76 FPS on the Red Magic 3 and ROG Phone 2, a little bit better from the ROG there, and another stable 60 on the Black Shark 2, guys. I'm really actually impressed with this Black Shark 2. I can't get over how stable it has been, guys. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the final results. Feel free to pause the screen if you guys want to have a better look at it. But overall, we have 63 frames per second average on the Red Magic 3, 59 frames per second average on the ROG Phone 2, and 56 frames per second average on the Black Shark 2 Pro. My take from this, guys, stick with 60Hz refresh rate panels, get the best possible chip you can get, and until next time, guys, this is TechNick.